So, Scott, November's coming.
Winter is coming.
Winter's coming. Okay, it's October, which means that a lot of people are getting ready for hunting and turning off their televisions because they're sick of the commercials.
Oh, God.
Yep. So as we're approaching this, it's being a part of the Political Education Committee. I'm sure this gets to be your busy time of year, and then you get to hear a lot of opinions. You get to hear a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think it's important right now for us to really compare and contrast personal versus organizational politics, because I think it's unfair to assume that any organization assumes that they just go with one of the parties automatically. There's certainly lots of organizations that do that, but I think it's certainly a good opportunity to frame that the organization has a mission and goals and core issues,
yes,
and then you have your own personal politics as well. So can you kind of comment on personal versus organizational politics?
Absolutely. This is one of our big messages coming from the committee and from all the MPFFU e-board members as a whole, is that we really do try to drive home the fact that whatever your personal issues you have at home, and there are plenty, we all have them. We all have our personal lives. Work life is not our only life. So we completely understand all of the personal issues that are on the table, from immigration to whatever it is, guns and abortion and everything that's out there. We're seeing, fill it in for infinity, right? Those are important to you. We get it.
Yes.
We, though, have to always try to bring it back to our core issues of who are the candidates that are supporting our issues,
right? Like
we touched on before. And the core issues of the MPFFU continue to be, and will always be wages, hours, and terms and conditions, which incorporate collective bargaining, arbitration, health and safety, staffing. Just a few we put out recently was
recently
staffing.
You got the list right here. You got the preservation of collective bargaining, protection of Public Act 312, solutions to staffing issues, especially recruitment and retention, fighting to make staffing mandatory subject of bargaining, opposition of any changes to PARA, that's the Public Employment Relations Act, continued funding for cancer presumption, obtain mental health presumption legislation, and fight against public safety officer service delivery model. So let's see if I understand this correctly, see if we can translate this to the community. Personal politics are political choices of an individual person, as organizational politics are the political choices and recommendations that favor the goals and objectives of an organization. In this regard, it's everything that protects those things I just listed.
Correct. And how we arrive at tying all these issues back to the political action education. So obviously we're educating our members of why these things are important to us. Either how do we gain some of these things or how do we protect them? It goes back to those elected officials across the street there. And we screen those elected officials. This is what our members need to understand. We don't just pick someone based on a party like we mentioned before. We actually screen each of these candidates every election cycle. The MPFFU, working with our lobbyists, sends out a candidate questionnaire. We will not vote to endorse or give any money to a candidate who does not answer that questionnaire. And not just answer, but answer it favorably to us. They've got to answer that questionnaire with the right answers for us. If they're not supportive of those issues and they're not willing to put it down in writing in a questionnaire response to us, then they're not getting our endorsement and they're not getting our money. We take that part of it serious. And we don't care what's behind their name in terms of what party they're affiliated with. We put it out to everybody. We send that survey out to everybody. We send that questionnaire out to everybody that's running. Again, it's up to them to return it if they're looking for our endorsement, our support, and our money.
So that endorsement is an official MPFFU seal of approval, essentially.
Exactly.
You can't just say you endorse it. You're literally saying it went through a process.
Went through a process to make sure that they are willing to put on paper that they support these issues. So
they literally put up a list. Here's the core issues. Do you not like any of these? If so, which one and why?
That questionnaire for all our members is available at our MPFFU website.
Where do I get
Anyone can view it. Go to the MPFFU website and you'll see candidate questionnaire. Now you won't see all the answers because they come back. The responses.
Right.
That's all filtered.
Yeah, but at least you get an opportunity to see
what questions are being asked.
What if I wanted to make what if I have a better way to sentence that? What if
Correct.
Could I send you an email?
Absolutely. We are always willing to take that input from the entire membership. While we have 11 members working hard, we don't know it all. And with the strength in numbers. And if there's a brother or sister out there that has a better way to frame that question or a new issue, maybe there's a new issue we haven't thought of. Maybe there's something that we've left off on that questionnaire. Please, we encourage it. We encourage that involvement.
That's good to hear because when you're closed off to the information you're trying to collect, it doesn't create trust. And this organization is all about trust.
Yep.
Awesome.